Good morning. Today I want to make a video on the most dangerous supplements. Now, I want to preface this by saying every supplement is necessary for health. There is no such thing as some supplement which is too dangerous. You should just never ever take it. And in the same way, every supplement can be dangerous if you take it incorrectly. So this is quite a complicated topic, but I want to talk about these supplements which, if you take them, they have the most potential for the average person to get into trouble with. And in fact, myself, I have got into trouble in the past with all of these supplements, so you may take this as a story from personal experience. Alright, so the first one is electrolytes. Now, electrolytes I talked about a lot in my last video, so I think if you want the detailed version, you should see that. But in terms of danger, they are one of the most dangerous supplements in terms of if you take them incorrectly, they are probably most likely to send you to hospital or have some very undesirable immediate side effect. In specific, potassium and magnesium, if you take just a bit above those which you're supposed to be taking, can have very detrimental effects on your heart and your energy levels, and you could get into trouble very quickly with those. So very much stick to the recommended doses. Do not go above, do not try and experiment with double the dose. They are potentially very dangerous. But I won't go into too much depth on that. You can just see my last video if you want to learn more about electrolytes. Alright, so what's the second thing I want to talk about? The second thing is more of a group of supplements. And I refer to this as stimulatory supplements. Now, stimulatory supplements, in my eyes, are supplements which basically kick off a chain reaction of chemical processes in your body that end up using up a lot of other nutrients. So they're the sort of supplements which you tend to take immediately and get a really big effect from the first time you take them, but the reason you're getting such a big effect is because they're using up so many other nutrients, and if you continue to take them and continue to chase that big effect, or even try and raise your dose and get get the big effect back, then you'll end up reducing your total body nutrient pool to almost nothing. And these are very insidious because they feel amazing to start with, and they'll feel okay after a week. You don't really feel negative effects after a month, but if you've taken them for 6 months or so, then your health could end up being a lot worse than it was to start with. Especially if you're not cognizant of your other nutrients getting depleted and maintaining a total body nutrient balance, then they are potentially very dangerous in the long run. Now, what sort of supplements fit in this category? The main one that comes to mind for me is B12. Now, B12 is essential for stimulating the methylation cycle, which methylates DNA and allows your body to create new cells, basically. And you might imagine that uses up a whole huge number of other nutrients. So all the B vitamins, most of the minerals, almost every nutrient you can imagine gets used up by taking excess B12. So it's one of the ones where you can, I'll make a video on B12 at some point. It's a very interesting nutrient. It's very beneficial in a lot of ways. Some people absolutely need it, but if you take it for a long time and you're not cognizant of other nutrient deficiencies developing, you can get into real trouble with it. So I would recommend staying away from high doses, especially of B12, unless you have a very good reason for taking those. And other nutrients which come into this category is for example, copper and zinc are also quite stimulatory nutrients. So if you don't have them, or you take a large dose of them for the first time, you can feel amazing and you can get a lot of really good benefits from that. But if you continue taking large doses of copper and zinc for a prolonged period of time, like over 6 months to a year or such, you have to take a fairly large dose to get this depletion effect, but you can end up depleting a lot of your other nutrients, and especially copper and zinc have a negative effect on minerals. So things like iron or phosphorus or magnesium or selenium will all get depleted eventually by taking large amounts of copper and zinc. And copper and zinc are incredibly popular supplements, probably one of the most popular supplements after I imagine like vitamin D. They are very popular, a lot of people take them, and not a lot of people really understand this risk. So if you are taking them for a long-term period and you feel your health deteriorating, then maybe you should try taking a break for a few months and see if things start to improve. And what's the last one? The last one is the most controversial supplement, in my opinion, and it is seed oils. Now, seed oils, I think a lot of people just think they're obviously bad, just don't take them, they're not a supplement, what are you doing? They are a very good supplement. You're welcome to argue with me in the comments if you like. Essential fatty acids like linoleic acid and alpha linoleic acid and all that stuff can be supplemented by taking seed oils, and that is basically the only way of supplementing it, and they are absolutely essential for the proper working of the human body, including, as I have found recently, burning fat. So if you're having trouble burning fat, perhaps you are lacking in essential fatty acids, and maybe supplementing some seed oils could help. But the topic of this video is dangerous supplements. Now, seed oils are dangerous if you're not aware of what they do, and what they do is oxidize a bunch of cells in your body. They create oxidization. So to make the seed oils takeable, safely takeable, you also have to take them with antioxidants like vitamin E or vitamin C or some other thing. And if you take seed oils on their own for a prolonged amount of time, you will absolutely deplete your antioxidant pool, and you will end up with very high toxic oxidization throughout your body, and they will create horrible negative effects which will reflect probably the image that most people have of them. But if you do take them safely, they're a great supplement and they can help a lot of conditions, so don't count them out completely. Alright, that's all for today, a short one today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.